Okay, here it goes, everyone. First time on YouTube doing a shop demonstration video. This is going to be a no BS on how to cut 6061 T6 aluminum plate with your regular homeowner's skill saw. Okay, we have an older Craftsman skill saw. Take pan over to the saw for a minute. It is a 40 tooth plywood blade for cross cuts. Nothing fancy. It's old, had it for about 5 years. Craftsman skill saw. Here's the setup, straight edge. And as you can see, I'm going to pan down here. This is the as cut edge. No, didn't dress it up with a file after I cut it. Didn't do anything fancy about it. That's it, just cut it. And there's a straight edge. That's about as good as you're going to get. I have a $4,000 plasma cutter, and it doesn't get much better than that as far as straightness on 1/2 inch T6 aluminum plate. I'm going to go ahead and set up for my next cut, and I'll get back to you when I'm ready to cut, and I'll show you how it goes. Cuts just like thick plywood. Alright, so we're back. Here's our next setup. Here you see I have clamped a piece of 2-inch angle iron. That's going to be my fence to run the saw along. You can't really see it, but I have a pencil line drawn where my cut line is, a couple inches away from the angle iron. So this is going to be a 10.5 inch piece when I'm done. So the cut line's 10.5 inches in from the edge. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pre-treat the metal, so to speak, with some WD-40, regular can WD-40, and some 30 weight pump oil out of my oil can. Just going to lay down a little stripe right on the line, and then go over the WD-40 with the pump oiler. Why am I doing it in that manner? Because that's what I did the first time, and it worked really well. So that's what we're going to do again this time. So I just run down my trace of WD-40, go right over the top of that with the 30 weight out of the pump oiler. And I don't know if this is a magic combination, but this cut really, really well. And I haven't found a good video showing how easy this actually cuts 1/2 inch aluminum plate. Okay, this isn't cheap aluminum. This is 6061 treated to a T6 spec, which is aircraft aluminum. It's good stuff. Again, same saw, didn't change anything. 40 tooth plywood blade, well used, and about a 20-year-old Craftsman sawmill skill saw. And my air protection here, my eye protection, I'm going to fire it up, let this thing eat. Alright, so as everyone can see, that cut absolutely like butter. I didn't know what the cut time was on that. Probably sub 30-40 seconds, give or take. We have this camera clamped down here, so I'm going to release it from the clamp. Just give you a quick walk around. Okay, there's the as cut joint. Nice surface finish. Barely any burr at all. Okay, very, very nice. Okay, there it is. 36 inch. Ten and a half inches wide. And just so no one thinks I'm fooling with you, 1/2 inch thick plate. There you go, guys. So no need to buy a fancy plasma cut or anything else. If you're cutting any aluminum, at least up to 1/2 inch, and judging by the way this cut, you could probably go a lot thicker. Standard skill saw, plywood blade, special WD-40 30 weight oil mix. Let her have it. Alright, so one last thing, everyone. I just finished a third setup, doing a little trim work, cross cut on this, make a 10.5 inch cut. I had to shorten up the length. Okay, I'm going to pan over to that right now. I'm just really impressed with how good this is going, and hope someone else will get something out of this video. All right, so looking down here, this is the edge I just made the cut on. You can see the surface finish. I mean, that's the reflection of the recording light on the front of the camera in the surface finish. You know, don't get me wrong, it's not a machined or a milled finish, but for a skill saw with a $10 blade on it, that's pretty damn nice. And if I pan around to the edge, what I'm going to try and show everyone here is that edge is damn near 90 degrees to the top surface. Now, for anyone that's ever tried to cut material like this before, come over to this edge. Okay, it's got some milling, some chips on it. I'll brush the chips free. Okay, so for anyone that's ever cut material before of any thickness, you know what it's like trying to get a perpendicular edge. I'm going to come over to the piece that I just cut off. Okay, this is the piece that was right there. Actually, that was upside down. It's actually right there. Okay, so that came off of there. That's the cut edge, and you know what? It does have a very slight angle on it. I'll say maybe a degree, give or take. It's tough to catch on camera. Okay. I'm gonna grab my square. I mean, there's the proof in the pudding right there. That thing's pretty damn near 90 degrees. And if we go the other way, okay, again, bear with me. I'm a mechanic and a machinist and everything else, but I'm not a video guy. Here's my straight edge. That's pretty damn straight. And we're talking 3 or 4 thousandths deviation maybe across that. And even if that, I'm taking a guess, I can't see any light through there. You know, we hold the thing up to the shop lights. I can't even see any light through it. That's how good of a finish there is. So, just going back, hope everybody got something out of this. Just trying to show everyone that this indeed is useful to get really accurate cuts. This isn't just a backyard hack. You know, you don't have to worry about any swamp Yankees teaching you this, worrying about rigging something up, just getting it to work. This is something that can be actually used and do really high quality work with basic tools. As long as you have a good rigid setup, as far as a guide plate, some kind of fence, okay, something that's nice and straight, and make sure it's clamped down and your material's clamped down so you can guide the saw with 2 hands, and a little bit of lubricant on the blade to keep the chips and the swarf from sticking to the blade, clogging up the teeth. And just so you can see, I did not ruin the blade. Okay. There's that blade. And the GoPro's fighting with the reflection a little bit off the teeth, but and you see what's going on there. That thing is as fresh as it was before I started. There's no chipping of the carbides, there's no buildup on the teeth. I think that's pretty good. All right, get to it. Go build something cool.